Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know what your Moon and Rising sign is, Aquarius, there's a link in the description box to a site called Always Astrology. Just plug in your information there, it'll give you a snapshot of your chart, and in that chart you'll see what your Moon and Rising sign is. If for any reason this reading doesn't appeal to you or resonate with you very strongly, you can check out your Moon and Rising for the week and see if that helps. That being said, I do hope that this resonates with you this week, Aquarius. So this is for the week of April 30th to May 6th. And I'll be doing a similar spread to what I did last week, just using a different deck. 3-card spread, central issue, 2 qualifiers in the bottom of the deck for general energy. And then I'll be drawing additional cards from both the Medicine card Tarot and the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot for additional guidance. But for the central card reading, I'll be using the Healing with the Angels Oracle deck, just because I feel very strongly that all signs really need some extra healing this week. So let's begin. So I wish for Aquarius all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I ask that Mother Gaia please bless this reading for Aquarius. So 3 cards came out. I'm actually going to put those back. If it pops up again, I'll be very excited. But I look for single jumpers. So I'm going to wait for 1 card to jump, and we'll do one at a time here. The card that jumped out on top of a bunch of others was Archangel Michael, by the way. So that, if you have a concern this week, Aquarius, or if you don't know where to turn, or you're like, I wonder who I should try first and see if anyone's listening, try Archangel Michael. He's actually one of the most popular ones for people to turn to for assistance. However, it will be cool to see if it comes back up in the spread. Also, we're leaving Taurus in retrograde behind, thank God. It was there for, I think, the last 5 or 6 weeks. And if anything had to do with possessions, love, relationships, pairings, health, reproductive health, beauty, if that's been upset for the past couple of weeks, you're coming out of it now, so things will smooth out. Or if you've been putting off a haircut, getting your nails done, anything having to do with beauty and love, everything having to do with the planet Venus, women, right? If you've managed to put that off, or if you haven't been successful with those things over the past couple of weeks, beginning May 3rd, we are going direct to Taurus. It goes direct in Mercury, so things should start looking out for you over the next week or so. So already for your central position, Aquarius, we have healing, the healing card. Healing in your central position does represent you. And because this is a general reading, please apply these messages to anything that's prominent in your life this week, Aquarius. So the healing card in the central position means that you are either undergoing healing because you have recognized a need, and this could be self-healing as well, even though the card indicates that there is a protective entity involved. It could be an angel, it could be an earth angel, but you could very well be the one who is in charge of healing yourself. And if you're not already undergoing that process, I think this week you're being asked to take yourself up on that process. This is a good week, Aquarius, for you to begin a process of self-healing. If you're not sick or unwell in any way, or have any health concerns in any way, or money concerns, or pure concerns, relationship concerns, if this isn't about you necessarily this week, Aquarius, this could be someone around you who requires healing. And I think you'll be very attuned to who that is if that's the case. And I think you'll also be very willing and able to give that. You are not a selfish sign. You're very willing to give and to provide and to help others. And you do so with love. So just wow. Just a lot of really emotionally supportive and beautiful, gentle, I guess I want to say precious. Like there's this precious energy this week. Where I think you might be seeing something with fresh eyes that you weren't before, that you weren't able to see before, or something altogether new is entering your life. And you're seeing it literally for the first time, but it is helping you or assisting you in ways that you hadn't even considered. So to get a better idea of the general energy for the week, Aquarius, we have the card Guardian Angel at the bottom of the deck. Now, because Guardian Angel is the general energy and the healing card is your central energy, I'm going to suggest that it's actually there's a great need for healing this week, an enormous requirement for it this week. And you might, instead of relying on yourself or Earth Angel for once, you might be relying on someone either outside your peer group. But remember how at the very beginning I was like, if you haven't been praying to Archangel Michael, maybe give it a shot and see if it helps. Maybe do that anyway. Because the guardian angel being the overall energy is saying you might need additional support that you haven't called upon before. And I think that Aquarians are open-minded enough and what's another word for open-minded? Aquarians are incredibly open-minded. And also very spiritual, and you're non-judgmental. That's what I mean to say, non-judgmental. So if you can do this in a non-judgmental way to yourself this week, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you do reach for help from, say, guardian angel entities. And do so with purpose. If you are asking for help, guidance, or assistance this week, don't do it, haphazardly. Do it, with the greatest of intentions. Because what we see, right, because you have to believe it in order for there to be any great change. And it's like faith in anything, though. It's like faith in that entity can help you. It's the exact same amount of energy that goes into saying that it can help you. And it's the same, it comes from the same place that we have relationships with. We have faith in friendships, right? We have faith that we'll always get through things. We have faith that our friendships are really strong. We just have all this, faith. And maybe we don't call it faith because that sounds, automatically religious somehow. But, in a secular sense, faith, all signs, all human beings have faith in things that sometimes, the evidence suggests that we ought not to. Let's just say, people have faith in their spouses, right? Or people have faith in the money market, or people have faith that things will always work out, even when we know in life not everything works out all the time the way we want. But here's the beautiful thing about faith is essentially what's more important than things will always work out is that you have faith that you'll always be able to rise above it. That in itself is its own faith. So don't knock it till you try it, but try it for yourself in your own unique way. As long as you are, as long as you're genuine about it. If you're doing something out of spite or to be skeptical and put something to the test, maybe this week isn't to do it. But if you're feeling, yeah, why not? I'll go there. Try that this week. A lot of healing going on it could even be back and forth. You could find you're healing yourself, you're healing others, people are watching this and being healed through you. You could be finding a lot of inspiration through other individuals who have healed their own lives. And this is inspiring you this week. You could feel that it's a blessing this week. Blessings is to the right of the healing card, and abundance is to the left. So let's look at these cards in a bit more detail here, Aquarius. Like I said, we have the healing card in the center. Someone is being soothed and comforted by another. But I think sometimes what we forget or what we dismiss on the path to personal healing or development is that a problem exists at all, right? Some of the hardest work to do at all isn't even the healing. Some of the hardest work is getting to the point where you're like, oh, I gotta fix this, or oh, there's a problem, or you know, in that vein, right? It's just it's acknowledging. But once that stage is over, and it feels like it already has, because this week is the process of healing. So if you've undergone any assessment of an issue or a problem or a concern for you over the past week or so, Aquarius, you could find this week is the week for you to take action in getting to the root of the issue in a healing sense. You're not going to root it out. You're not doing any of the action work or walking through the fire on the coals. You've already done that. You might even in order to name the problem, right? We can't fight the beast if we don't acknowledge the beast. So, sorry, I have like crazy allergies. They'll be gone next week, I promise. So a great deal of healing this week, but again, like kudos to you for taking the time and energy and effort to even get to the position where many people won't even let themselves go, right? It's a difficult place. It's a difficult place for most human beings to walk through the fire and come out the other side and say, I've discovered it. I've pinpointed it. I know what it is now. Now I know how or what to do or how to do it. This healing. And you're determined, right? Look at this. Blessings is to the right. Healing, guardian angel, abundance. Like this is a determination. So it's a beautiful sense of self. You have an incredibly, and I've said this before, Aquarius has an incredible core sense of self, a very strong ego in the sense where Aquarians, unlike some other astrological signs, automatically think they're worth it. Okay? I don't think Aquarians generally are ever going to question like, oh, I don't, do I deserve this or whatever it is, right? Money, happiness, pleasure, partnership, success, however you define that. Healing, just generally, basically, wellness, health. I don't think that, and really, and maybe this is the blessing this week, right? Fair enough, Aquarius. Maybe the blessing is like some people really struggle through this and you don't. Like you really know in your heart of hearts, like in your bones, that you deserve wellness and health and abundance and prosperity and joy. And that could very well be the blessing. You don't even struggle with that, okay? Even if there is healing to do, even if you do request a guardian angel or an earth angel or assistance this week, it's because you know you're worth it. And that's half the battle, Aquarius. Trust me. It's an enormous gift. It's an enormous strength. On the other hand, if you feel like you're lacking that this week and you are questioning these things, or if you're going through a karmic phase where you feel like you've done something wrong and there's an element of punishment due, I would suggest that you put that aside. I think that's a figment of your imagination. I wouldn't look at it that way, not according to this spread. However, if you do feel strongly that is the issue, then definitively turn to a third party this week for additional guidance. Someone that you're not already incredibly close with as friends. And someone who, like I said earlier, who has already gone through and practiced the hard work of coming to terms with, and then getting to the other side through a process of healing. This doesn't have to be someone that you know in person, by the way. For example, when I did a bulk of my own self-healing over the past couple of years, I turned to an author and presentator and lecturer named Louise Hay, who I found online. I ended up just watching hundreds of hours of her lectures and of her presentations and of her audiobooks, etc. So this isn't, I've never even met this person, right? She doesn't even know I exist, but the wealth of knowledge and help and level of healing that I've been able to obtain in my life because this other person did the hard work. I'm just saying here, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to put yourself through something that you don't need to as a time suck. And I honestly, I feel automatically that you won't. Like, I feel that you're wise enough, like you're bright enough to see that other people have probably already been through this and that you can rely on their outcomes and the way that they've gone about it. Not that you won't have your own issues to overcome in taking those steps, but certainly those steps or that route, you know, you don't have to walk down an unbeaten path for this, for a sense of healing. I think it would just be a time suck if you did that. Don't reinvent the wheel if you don't need to. And trust that you're not alone. Whatever you are going through right now is a very human thing. It's a very human condition. And you might find that itself as the blessing. You might find that you can see past that as the blessing. You're so fortunate. Really, Aquarius. I'm laughing because you're just such an incredibly strong personality. And I don't even know sometimes if you realize it. So please, if you're unaware of this, please just take a moment and laugh at the fact that maybe laughter, okay, let's look at that for a second even. Maybe laughter is who you're looking, maybe laughter is healing. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the whole point is the cosmic joke. Like, why do you have an easier time with things and other people don't? And why do you have a harder time than other people don't? Like, that's ridiculous, right? And it's funny. And we're all human. How can we be going all through these different experiences where we're all essentially from the same source? Maybe it's laughter and humor that's the healing part for you. Maybe you are the guardian angel for someone else. Maybe you're the one bringing humor into someone else's life. And maybe that's the blessing that you bring or that you offer. Interesting. And then to the left of the healing card is the card of abundance, Aquarius. So we have someone playing the lyre here. She's got a halo around her. She's feeling very blessed and also very involved in the arts. So if there's anything having to do with the arts this week or relationships, like I said, we're coming out of Taurus in retrograde, so there could be something that's being wrapped up in the world of relationships. Not necessarily romance, but you know, don't kick that off the shelf either. It could be. You have blessings and abundance on either side of healing, and it's funny because just talking about this all this time has made me discover that it could be, that laughter could be, excuse me, the best medicine. Excuse me. In terms of healing this week, Aquarius. And maybe your guardian angel this week isn't someone who's been through a rough time and has had to, you know, walk through the fire to get through the other side and it's all really tough. Maybe it's a comedian. And to add to that, comedians, you know what? Comedians are incredibly intelligent, deep, sensitive, and artistic. And you might find a lot of yourself in listening to someone who is, you know, and a comedian who appeals to you. But I can almost guarantee that that comedian, whomever you're drawn to this week, or set of comedy, whatever comedic venture you're looking at this week, those people have gone through the fire too. Okay? They didn't escape. They went through something too. And they're on the other side, and they found laughter was healing. So essentially, whatever you find healing this week in a general sense for yourself. In the general sense this week, Aquarius, this week is a time, or this week is available to take time to go through the healing process, or to begin the healing process. And if it's about joy and laughter, then all the power to you. Really. Laughter is healing, right? Maybe you're the comedian. Maybe you're the funny one. Maybe you're, like I said, you're the guardian angel. You're able to bring levity and healing to other people. It could be an act of altruism too. Altruism is a weird word. I mean, it's a great word, but it's a weird definition rather, because it means, it's a paradox, right? It means, well, in order to be altruistic, you have to give without expecting anything in return, okay? That's altruism. Here's the paradox about altruism. Whenever you give without expecting anything in return, you always get something in return. Always. Sometimes greater or more significant than you could ever have even imagined. Altruism is an incredibly powerful tool for self-growth. I'm going to throw in the term volunteerism as well, okay? This week, volunteering yourself, volunteering your time, your humor, your sense of healing, even if it's to you, even if it's just all about you this week, Aquarius. Be altruistic with yourself. If it's about preparing decent meals, getting good sleep, just the basics, right? Even if it's nuts and bolts basics, just be altruistic with yourself. And you will get more back from behaving that way than if you were to do it to get something back. Altruism is an amazing paradox. Remarkable. And it's also a great way to grow as a human being. Giving something without expecting anything back is I think it's an enormously positive and generous and wise self-expression. And obviously when it comes to altruism or volunteerism, there's so many places to, present this or to act this way. So it's not like you'll ever be at a loss for someone to help. On the other hand, if that's all you've been doing and you do need rest, perhaps this is really all about you and you need the rest. You've provided enough abundance, or you have enough abundance this week to take time off, or take time to yourself. So we're just going to look for some additional messages from this deck, the Medicine card deck. This is my oldest deck. I've had this for 30 years. And I just love these old cards. They come with some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen. The deck I just used, Aquarius, was given to me by a woman that I hardly even knew, whom I've come to know over the past, I guess, half year. In a real serendipitous way. I didn't even know this woman. She didn't know me at all. She gave me these cards, and as we worked together over time, we learned that she grew up with my birth family. She knew my entire family. And I'd never met her or them before in my life. And I was like, what is this? So weird. And the other deck I bought because I fell in love with the artwork and the cards. They're so beautiful and expressive. So, in saying all that, Aquarius, I do try to keep this under 20 minutes. Sorry about that. Let's try to get a jumper here. And we'll finish up your reading for you. right. Ooh, the opossum. I do believe this means diversion. Let's look it up very briefly here. I think the opossum, yes, it's diversion. So it looks like you're trying to get out of paying attention to something. It's a good time to present strategy. So this is about avoiding a diversion, frankly. You may feel unsafe. You may feel that you're surrounded by opposition. But you have within you what it takes, Aquarius, to overcome any obstacle or opposition. And remember what I said about that strong personality, that strong ego of yours. If someone else is putting up a fight, if someone else is trying to create diversion or opposition, at least for the week, for the time being, don't let it get to you. Don't even pay attention to it. Move forward with your own concerns and your own goals. I think they'll come around. However, if that is you and you're creating diversion, I think the purpose this week is not so fast, Slick. It's time to slow down and pay attention, okay, to what needs healing this week. Something definitely needs your attention, and in an emotional, psychological, or even spiritual way. And you are protected. You will be protected this week in overcoming anything. All right, a change in the wind. So this could present a series of options to you that you didn't think were available to you before. You can see that there is a little house. It's like a gazebo on the back of a donkey. And the north and south is going sort of round and round and round. Perhaps you don't know where you stand with something. Perhaps everything that's going on this week with a sense of healing just means that you need to come to terms with something. Is there something that's changing that you don't have a hand in and it's worrisome? Are your plans on firm ground? I think there's just general uncertainty about which way to move here, Aquarius. And because it's a great week to spend a lot of time on healing energy around your own life, perhaps this could be put on the back burner. Perhaps you don't need to make a decision quickly this week. And you need to take care of your personal health first. So if things are on shaky ground, perhaps give those concepts, revisit those. If plans need to be changed or updated or revised. On the other hand, you may not know which direction to go at this time, and I think perhaps the most important thing to do, and if that's the case, is to let that part rest and take care of your own health. So I didn't mean for it to get this long, but I do appreciate you watching the whole video. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed the reading and that it resonated with you and helped you in some way. I will see you next week for next week's reading, and take good care of yourself in the meantime. Bye for now.